I am Jack. I once believed I loved my wife, Emily, with all my heart. We met during a lively campus art exhibition in college. That day, Emily was radiant, her eyes sparkling like rare gemstones, and her smile, complete with adorable dimples, could light up an entire room. She exuded a creative energy, always brimming with grand dreams, painting a picture of our shared bright future. I was instantly captivated. I began courting her with all my attention and love. Before long, we were deeply in love, spending our free time exploring shared interests and building our own little world. After graduation, marriage felt like the natural next step. Surrounded by family and friends, we had a beautiful wedding, filled with hope and excitement for our new life together. I entered the fast-paced world of corporate work, eager to climb the career ladder and provide Emily with a secure life. Emily worked as a talented graphic designer at a renowned advertising agency. In our cozy apartment, she decorated every corner with warmth and artistic taste, creating a home that reflected her creativity. But as the years passed, the pressure from my job began to change me. I grew more anxious and irritable, replacing the easygoing nature I once had with endless insecurity. I no longer found comfort in Emily's presence. Instead, I became overly critical of her. The homemade meals she used to make with love, which once brought me warmth, now felt impossible to swallow. I would complain about the smallest imperfections in housework. Every time she tried to communicate with me, I would impatiently interrupt, convinced that she was just being unreasonable. On one memorable anniversary, Emily spent hours preparing a romantic candlelit dinner, with her signature dishes and a beautiful bouquet. But I, upset by a minor setback at work, snapped at her, accusing her of being wasteful and frivolous. That night ended in tears, leaving a deep scar on our relationship. As I was promoted to manager, my workload doubled, and my hours grew longer. Emily continued to support me, handling the housework as always. But I arrogantly took her efforts for granted, and my need for control grew stronger. I began to see her friends as threats, convinced they were a bad influence. Whenever she mentioned meeting up with old college friends, it would lead to heated arguments. I would shout and throw things, eventually succeeding in driving a wedge between her and her friends. Gradually, they all distanced themselves from her, and the once lively, outgoing Emily became quiet and withdrawn, retreating into herself. Success clouded my judgment. I began treating Emily as an extension of myself, a trophy, to show off at company events and social gatherings. I picked out her clothes and dictated what she should wear. If she disagreed or tried to resist, I would lash out with hurtful words, trying to break her spirit. Her passion for painting, something she loved dearly, I dismissed as a waste of time. In a fit of anger, I cleared out her art studio, throwing away her paints, brushes, and canvases, forbidding her from touching a paintbrush ever again. Emily's mental state deteriorated rapidly. She suffered from severe insomnia and would sit alone in the dark, lost in thought. She mentioned divorce once, but I dismissed it as a sign of her emotional instability, thinking it would pass. It wasn't until one day when I came home from work and saw the chaos in our house that I truly understood the extent of my actions. Emily was wearing disheveled pajamas, her hair a tangled mess, her eyes vacant, walking aimlessly around the living room, muttering to herself. It was then that I realized how deeply I had damaged the woman I once loved. I had destroyed her mentally and emotionally, and there was no going back. Now, all I have left is the overwhelming guilt, knowing that my actions had irrevocably changed the course of our lives.